Hello YouTube, good morning. I'm Yasmin. I'm a host for Talk and Talk. Talk and Talk is a platform where we practice languages, besides full conversation in the language that we are practicing for. Here you can practice English, Spanish, and French too. There is not a class, I'm not a teacher, I'm just here to guide our conversation. And usually start presenting ourselves, so a little about me. I live at São Paulo. I've been working as a software developer, and I live with my parents, with my cat too. And here in the platform, I practice my English and my Spanish too. Claudia, could you present yourself to us, please?
Sure. Good morning, guys. Again, I'm Claudia. I live in a small town in the state of São Paulo with my mom. I work as an IT project manager. Besides my professional work, I also volunteer in social projects here in my city. In my free time, I enjoy to reading books and watching movies. Anyway, I'm here at TNT platform to practice my English and get ready for new professional challenges. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. I hope the platform helps you in that objective. Fernando?
Yes, of course. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here again with you. It's been in another immersion. I'm Fernando, and I live in São Paulo. I work as a product owner now for a company that development software. I'm married and I have two daughters. My free time, I like to spend a little bit time with my family. I stay here in Talk for improve my English and improve my communication skills for 2 months nowadays. I think for me it will be enjoy here in Talk for this amazing platform to development my English skills. That's it for me, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. You are doing well through these months. Congrats. And the last but not the least, Luis.
Good morning, guys. It's a pleasure to see all you again. Well, my name is Luis. I'm 45 years old. I'm a data professional, work with technology, and well, I'm a simple guy who lives in a very beautiful city in the middle of Brazil, and I love my hobbies because I love be close to music and outside activities, and it's this.
Thank you for sharing and welcome again to the platform. So, starting with Luis, the first question, what's the main difference between positive discipline and negative discipline, such as spanking?
Yes, the difference is huge because how we know that a negative discipline don't discipline anyone. This is real. You know, if you have some example in your life that uh, if you have some memories from your childhood, who if you have some friends that had negative discipline, how we will know that these kind of things don't don't res- don't have any positive results in the long term. I believe in this, and but sadly, is a reality of our world. Don't matter social class, don't matter the region. You know, unfortunately, it's a human characteristic for some parents, I think.
Yeah, it's like this negative discipline doesn't teach nothing, just teach people to be afraid of the parents, not just to really understand the reason for the things said. Fernando, what about you? You're a father, so I want to know
Yeah.
your opinion
Oh
about
my
it.
gosh, it's a polemic topic, for me. I agree with Luis. It's a huge difference between both situations, but I agree. Oh my gosh, I agree. It's sometimes we need to apply a little bit negative discipline, depends of the situation, but it's not like oh my gosh, it's spanking. The, the depends of the context. This word pode ser surra ou palmada, ou palmada tem alguma outra palavra que eu não conheça. But sometimes we need to do a little bit palmada, but I don't agree and don't believe that it's a strong parking, I don't believe that's necessary, but sometimes we need to do a little bit palmada. But nowadays, my my youngest daughter, she's 7, and nowadays it's not necessary to apply negative discipline with her because she is starting understanding when I talking about everything, But in the past, it was necessary a little bit parking in the context palmada, But nowadays it's no more necessary to because she starting to understand and I can speaking with her about the kind of situation. But if I need to compare with my another daughter, nowadays she's 15, and in her case, it don't necessary to formal because it your personality was calm, they both another when I compare with my oldest, my youngest daughter, it depends of the situation. So it's a complicated, but uh, sometimes it's necessary. But I don't agree with if when because here in Brazil we know, guys, there are a lot of situations that the parents is it's some rule, it's some strong, some the violence. It's happened here in Brazil, I think around the road too, because of this is complicated. It will be careful about this topic.
Yeah, it's hard. There are some cases that the parents really is spanking the children. Uh, Mainly for the past have really strong punishments to children. But yeah, there are some moments that I can't imagine how hard is it to raise a child. And I remember that my dad used to slap me sometimes, but I remember that my mother's punishment are worst because she was used to say to me, sit for a few minutes to think about what I did. And I have a armchair in my bedroom, and sometimes she decided the time according to what I did, and I pass like 30-20 minutes just sit on there doing nothing because I can't do nothing. So I was thinking, I've been thinking a lot on what I did in this moment. And yeah, was worse for me because the slap is in the moment, okay, pass. But past 30 minutes sitting, looking to the wall, thinking was hard.
Yes, I think it's a good way sometimes.
Yeah, and it was hard because I can't not see television or read some book, just look in the wall. And yeah, But fortunately, it helps me, and I didn't need to do it so much because it was a hard punishment. Claudia, and for you, what's your opinion?
I agree with you guys. For me, it's the same in my childhood. Yes, my mom never slapped me, but I had a hard times when punishment don't do anything in my room. It was my opinion, positive discipline focus on teaching, as my mom did in my childhood, and can help a child to understand the consequences of their actions, okay, in a respectful way. I'm not a mom, although I'm not a mother. I know how my parents raised me. So negative discipline, I think, relies on fear and physical or even emotional discomfort. Discomfort. Okay? While positive discipline builds maybe trust and in a long term learning. And the other hand, negative discipline can create anxiety and damage sometimes, as you guys said, in Brazil, especially in Brazil. That's it.
And I have a question for you. Do you think nowadays people are confusing between a positive discipline and a totally permissive discipline?
Yeah. Yeah. I have some friends. As I said, I'm not a mother, but I observe my friends and some of them. I think the child today can do everything. Almost no one has the same punishment, sorry, a palavra é difícil para mim, punishment, as my mom and my father did. So I can see almost of the time children in the shopping or restaurants, very difficult situations, and the parents did nothing.
Yeah, it's hard. I passed through the same was when I am walking to in the shopping mall or a park or something like that, and then the children do whatever they want, and the parents do nothing sometimes, and it's hard to see it. And I think it's harder if the parents try to discipline their children, like explaining, and then someone appear and say, no, but you cannot treat your children like that. It's hard. Fernando, and for you, do you think nowadays there is confusion?
Well, I agree. It's really confusion. I think, in my opinion, that's nowadays different than in the past, but I think it's a little bit confused and sometimes it's because I believe that it it's necessary to apply limits for the the children, the kids. It's necessary, but it's different, I think, than in the past. But I agree, it's necessary to apply another things.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Luis, and for you, do you think there is this confusion nowadays?
Yes, yes, a lot because well, I don't have kids as well, but I have friends that they have kids, and I can understand because we have so permissive parents today because I think that my generation who grew up in the 80s and the 90s was the first generation who grew up in front of the television and a lot of comfortable life, that our parents didn't have. If you think in childhood of our parents was very different, that my generation, you know. So daddies who has 40 years, they have another point of view of the world, you know. And nowadays, I think the major struggle is in everyone has a lot of different sources that how to live, different standards, what's the goals of life, family life, and nowadays uh, the cost of life is so expensive that parents can't be close to your kids, you know, because nowadays it's impossible just one of the couple work, you know. Uh, so it's a very different situation nowadays, I think.
Yeah, I think once the parents don't have the opportunity to be so next to the children, they start to be more permissive when they are next to the children. And then I think they start to be more patient too, because it's like, for example, in the weekdays, the children, a big part of time could pass in the school or in another activity, and then the parents just needed to deal with the children in the night or in the weekends. So maybe the parents have more patience and just accept everything. But yeah, it's hard to raise children in that way. So I will go to the question. I think the question 7 is really interesting. Uh, Luis, how can parents learn to be calm and brief when correcting behavior instead of yelling or giving a long lecture?
Well, I think that it's very hard to answer this question because we have different parents' backgrounds, and well, uh, now with 45 years old, I can realize that my parents wasn't prepared for be parents. You know, I think that it's very difficult for you think calm sometimes. So would be very interesting if every parent could be calm and brief with non-kind situations, you know. So, but I believe that I don't know. I don't know. Very hard for me to answer this.
Yeah. I don't know. There are some situations that parents pass through that is really stressful and can be hard. Or maybe could feel sad because see the children crying and feeling bad. Yeah, it's hard to keep the control in these situations. Claudia, and for you, what's your opinion about this question?
It's difficult for me as well because I don't have children, but it seems like a device. But I can say something that I do when I want to be calm. Can practice pausing before reacting, take a break. I don't know if it's possible, but I think it can help to try to be calm. I don't know. Setting a mental rule, for example, one sentence only can help. I don't know, but I do it in my working day, and sometimes it's a good idea. So it's not an advice, okay, Fernando, but I think it can help sometimes.
Yeah, I think a lot of time our first reaction is to act yelling or giving a lecture about the consequences. I'm not a mom too, so I just have an opinion about what I live and saw in another families. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to keep this calm. And for you, Fernando.
I agree. It's hard because there are a lot of influence during in your day, because depends of the situation. Sometimes I for like me, for example, sometimes I stay more calm and I can conversation with my daughter, and in another situation I I'm more is like, how can I say, my pouco menos calm, depends of the situation, no? And because there are influence in my job and another thing that I need to resolve during in your day. Because of this, sometimes I don't have more pain patience. It's a hard situation that you need to try to conduct in the with the better way for our life, for my family. Sometimes I I don't have patience, but my wife have. In the other situation, it's different. She doesn't have patience with our daughters, and they have more patience. Depends. It's complicated, but if you try to to do the best way for our kids.
Yeah, it's hard. Nowadays, like Luis said, almost impossible to just one parent work out of home in a company, for example. In the past, it was more common, like the wife is get in home and the husbands work outside. And I think in that way was maybe more easy to balance. But yeah, nowadays they both needs to work outside, and then there are a lot of stress in the work, sometimes in the transport until the work, and then the bills, sometimes more things that need to deal with, and then get in the home, and sometimes the children is in the phase to question everything that is by the 7 years old. So the kids question everything. Oh, but why this is like that? Oh, what is that? And it's hard to keep the patient even in these moments. Imagine in a hard situation. So yeah, keep the patient in nowadays world is insane, I think. So the number 8. Fernando, the video suggests parents should pick your battles. How do you decide if a behavior is a serious enough to discipline or if you should just ignore it?
I don't know. I just decide, because it's difficult to decide. I think oh my gosh, I decide if when the situation I, but I think, and when the situation it's it's difficult for the influence, it will influence for the character. Não é essa palavra em inglês, é caráter. Quando vai influenciar no caráter. And you need to construct your personality. For us, I think if I think that I choose this situation, when I influence for the influenciar no caráter delas. I prefer to talking about the situation, and learning more about moldar o caráter and other things for in this situation. If I need to choose, I decided to choose this situation.
Thank you for sharing, Fernando.
Nice.
Claudia, and if you would be a mother, how would you decide the battles?
I don't know, I have no idea, but I was thinking about it while Fernando was talking. Maybe I just question, is the behavior dangerous? I don't know. If the answer is yes, maybe needs correcting or no. But if the behavior is small or simple, annoying, like teenagers, all the time they have a lot of different behaviors, okay? I will ignore it. It may prevent, to prevent não necessário, unnecessary, conflict, okay? I don't know. I have no idea. I can't imagine it. Sometimes I seems like too difficult with myself, so I cannot imagine with another being, human being. Okay, hard.
Yeah, I got it. I'm the same. It's hard just with ourselves.
Yeah, me too. I have daughter, but I can't imagine you. It's so hard to decide about this.
A hard work all of the time. Thank you, Luis. And you, if you were a father, how would you keep your battles?
Well, what happened in my life with my parents because I don't know how to deal with the situation. But what happened to me? Well, when I was a teenager and I started to play guitar in a rock and roll band, my mom she started to cry. She became very sad because her most of fears was drugs, and she had a lot of these fears, and that she take care a lot. She become very close to me because she had a lot of fear. This was on point. Okay, I wasn't a junk, nothing about that. She was very okay with that. Okay, first battle, she won. Okay. The second battle that she had to me was when she realized that I didn't like to study, you know. And since my mother to my uncles and she came from she was a teacher. She left all behind to be a mom. When she realized that I don't like to I didn't like to study, she starts to fez eu estudar para concurso, essas coisas. Since I was 19 years old, 20 years old, because she was imagining that I want to be uh, unemployed forever, because I was a kind of arts and kind of thing. And my wife, she is a writer. And once she told to me, "Well, you are a pianist, and your wife is a writer, so probably the salary of you both, you'll be starving, you know." So she take care of us very closely. So she chose these battles for us.
Yeah, it's hard. And looks like when our parents say something to us in a huge way, like in your example, do a concourse, looks like we didn't, we change our mind. Sometimes we wanted to do this, but if our parents say that a lot of time, we change our mind and we're not wanted to do because, yeah, I don't know what's happening, but
Yes,
there.
but
Oh, go ahead.
I totally understand their opinion because our family broke in the 90s with the color things. We had a president called color, and was a trauma for every Brazilian family that time. So since that fact that happened, uh, my parents was very restrictive with me, my sister, to have a public job, you know.
Yeah, my parents, since I was really young, mainly my dad, always he was trying to say to me, do some, to take some job that earn a lot of money. So, for example, lawyer, that is a job that could pay a lot. I never wanted to be a lawyer, but he said a lot of time, and then I get really mad with law area, and was like that for everything because my dad say in a huge way. I know it's a device to our best, but sometimes it's hard. Yeah. So yeah, let me see here. I go to the number 10. Luis, why do children sometimes crave negative attentions like you screaming, if they cannot get positive attention like a hug?
Well, I think when parents are so distant, so far away from the emotions of their kids, I think this kind of negative attention starts rise, you know, for situation because the main goal of a family is about love. I think that life is about love, and the family must have love, but sometimes parents have struggled with jobs, with earn money, these kind of things. And you know, childhood uh, is not easy because you have so many changes when you are a child, and in this nowadays loud, noisily world. You know, so I think it's that, you know, sometimes this screen is just look for attention and love, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes the parents just show the attention with negative behavior like screaming or saying bad things. Said. Fernando, and for you, what's your opinion?
My gosh, I think it's a kind of defense mechanism from birth, you know. It it's continue until they grow up, the kids. It's just for I agree with Luis. It's for attention and the fancy way for when the kid needs something else or anything else, you know, and you start to a negative scream, you know, and scream out loud, and sometimes you start this because I think, in my opinion, it's a defense mechanism and sometimes needs attention and the other situation, you know. It's it's happened since the birth, when the child birth, it's it's start this because it's a mechanism, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks like the automatic mechanism is always, I don't know, if we saw something wrong, we screaming or try to protect in a huge way. Uh, and to have like care, uh, give a hug, needs to be more, I don't know, um, more active behavior, not passive behavior. So yeah, could
Yeah,
be behavior.
for the baby, it's happening, you know. It's
Yeah,
a mechanism for defense, and when they need to food and the other things, you know, for the babies, it's true. But I think it's mechanism continue until uh, start the childhood, you know, the first childhood, and the kind of situation for this.
Yeah, it's hard. Thank you, Fernando. Claudia, and for you.
I believe children need connection and any kind of attention, even negative. So for them, it's better than feeling ignored, for example. I'm seeing a lot teenagers nowadays, more than I want to see. They started to smoking pen drive, vape. Okay? So it's a kind of to get attention from their parents and their, if they don't receive positive interactions, they may behave in ways that force a reaction, like smoking, even if it's not unpleasant, not pleasant. So I think it's a sign that they want to feel more visto, seen by their parents and their brothers and even like their friends. So it's my opinion.
Yeah, it's hard because a lot of time I think this occur more with teenagers. They even don't like what they are doing, for example, smoking vape, but they do because they know even if it's conscious, they know the parents will give attention to the situation, so it's hard. I think we have time to move on. So the number 30. Claudia, the video links demanding candy at the store to more serious issues later. Do small discipline problems really have big long-term consequences?
Yes, yes, small behaviors can grow into bigger patterns. For example, if a child learns that crying or demanding something always work, they may develop self-control of the situation with their parents. Addressing small issues early teaches responsibility, emotional regulation, maybe, and respect to the limits. I think I agree, and yes, in my opinion, yes, small behaviors can grow into bigger patterns, like step to step.
Yeah. Is a big behavior that can transform in a big, a small that can transform in a big problem. So yeah, it's hard. Uh, Fernando, and for you, what's your opinion?
I agree that if you don't discipline about the small things, they can be in the a problem in the future, like sometimes it happened that my youngest daughter gave a pencil for another colleague at school, but it's innocent situation. But if I need to learn her about this, it's not not it this is not happen. It's not correct. I need to give devolver because it's not mine. Sometimes it happened. The kids choose the things, but it it is necessary to understand that this situation don't don't happen. You know, I don't know if I I understand if se eu me fiz entender dessa, mas é um pouco difícil. But it happens sometimes, when the first child, por exemplo, pegar um lápis, uma borracha sem saber, e ela tem que entender que é de outra criança, né? Não é dela, né? E você vai moldando essas coisas.
Yeah, I think the paper of the parents in these cases is essential because the children don't have the conscience about the consequences in this time. Thank you, Fernando. Luis, and for you.
Yes, I totally agree about what Claudia and Fernando said before, because there's a right way to correct the kids, but parents need to be always aware and to avoid uh, bigger problems in the future.
Yeah, could be hard because if I'll allow a small thing one day and don't allow in the another, the children say, but yesterday you gave that to me. Why not today? And yeah, could be hard. Keep the decision around the things. Yeah, I'm bringing back the guys to the another room. Welcome back, guys. Uh, I think maybe Daphne had some problem. But Bruno, how was the conversation in the another room? And for you, I will do the question 7. How can parents learn to be calm and brief when correcting behavior instead of yelling or giving a long lecture?
Okay, and the conversation was good. The people was amazing, and about the question, uh, yes, it's difficult to be calm and brief sometimes. How I said at our conversation, I don't have children yet, but I have pets. It's totally different, but I believe it's a little equal. So I don't know. And sometimes I have cousins, little cousins, and sometimes it's hard to be calm and brief because they don't understand a lot about the things, about the right things. And when we have to teach someone to something to them, we have to explain many times. And sometimes when we explain, I don't know, 10, 12 times, they don't understand, and it's very difficult to stay calm and breathe. But yes, it's okay. I think depends of the context. We have to be more mais duro in these cases, because if you sometimes we have to be more mais duro and pay attention, uh, giving a long lecture because it's necessary. Children is learning things, and we have to teach the right things to them. But it's so difficult.
Yeah, it's hard. Leonderson, and for you, how was the conversation in the another room? And question number 8. The video suggests parents should pick your battles. How do you decide if a behavior is serious enough to discipline or if you should just ignore it?
The conversation was great. They are really pleasure people, nice people. And about question 8, in my opinion, it's easy to check when the comportment is toxic or not. It's easy. Just check the consequence that comportment will can be. So disciplinary methods are totally necessary for education, in my opinion. And I guess the only way to get to create children is using the both ways. Sometimes we need to use a positive education, a positive methods, disciplinary methods teach, to educate, and sometimes you need to punish. Sometimes you need to get to do a little taps, to do well, punish in general mode, and that's my opinion.
For Shirley Anderson. So guys, I think that's it for today. I think we don't have time to more on question. So I want to invite you all to our next immersion. Will be around life beyond Earth. So if you feel interested by this subject and have time, please come. I'll be really happy to have you again. And that's it. I uh, I hope to see you all soon and have a nice week, guys.
Okay.